Hi guys, right here. So for this video, it's about the Mind Invasion Sonica EX difficulty, and this is for the low turn. So this low turn here will require certain reso for certain asper, and then you can also take a look at the leaderboard. There's actually a lot kind of different team, but every team comp here that's actually surrounding with a basic concept, which is actually speed. So for this video here, I'll be doing the whole showcase run. But you're gonna know that this showcase run is gonna be very RNG heavy because it depends on what kind of you buff, what kind of the buff you obtain, what kind of enemy you met in the wave, and also the RNG trigger. So there's a lot of RNG, and if you really want to compete in this challenge, you kind of want to keep on trying to get the best RNG, the best buff, the best wave mob, because every wave the mob is actually different, especially at the 5th, 10th, and 15th. The mob is different. So if you're unlucky, you're probably gonna meet like Renzi or those who have standoff or invincibility to fuck up your whole turn. Then you kind of need to restart it, or you gamble the dispel effect. Okay, so let me go through first. So currently the ranking here, I'm getting 10 turn, but if you look at the wolf formation here, there's player getting 8 turn. But I think this require R4 meta Ira and or probably R6 because of the effect. But if we ignore the 8 turn, so we look at the 9 turn here, we have like player Wenlock here is using a team here. You can see the Chuyao is not high reso, Feng Shui is R2, the effect, and then we have Ethan here R2. Ethan is very important for this combat here, and then Meta Ira and Elif. And we look at Agni here, he's using the base comp team that I recommend previously, the Chuyao, Feng Shun, Lu Shang, Ethan, and Elif, the R6 Elif comp. Then there's a lot of kind of different comp as well. You can go check it out and see which one suits you the most. Like, I don't understand how the Wenlock team works, so I'm also curious with it. Like this Wenlock team here, and then that, but you can most probably you can see there's almost the same thing, which is Feng Shun, Ethan, and Chuyao is kind of like the base concept. And let me give you the suggestion of what kind of buff you should actually pick, because the buff here actually matters a lot. Alright, so the EX stage here, I'm not going to use the Meta Ira just to make it more easier to make it as a reference, so I'm going to make Lu Shang here. This team here is also doable. Though, why you need Ethan here, and Ethan only needs R2, you don't need the R6. The R6 reso here is useless. So you want Ethan here is because at the start of the combat, you instantly apply the magic tune for everyone. So when you apply the magic tune for everyone, then you get 20 speed. So what makes the difference is, so let's say I don't have Ethan, and when I go inside the combat, right, enemy will definitely gonna outspeed me, which means I will be getting hit first, and then I'm actually slower. So let me randomly pick 3 buff. Okay, 3 buff. Okay, enemy will take the action and start hitting me because I am slower, and you can see when I start the combat, I'm actually with the current cycle 2 because my speed is actually slow. So I need to outspeed this situation. So there's two kind of situations. It's either you use Yuhime Yamato to get a 35% speed lead, or you put in an Ethan here, or like you have a level 70 being short for the 30% speed leader, or else go for Ethan to apply the 20% speed, then you can outspeed the timer and also the mob. Okay, then we have Feng Shun here for the buffer. Chuyao here can replace with other speed leader like Yuhime, for example. Elif R6 is a must because I'm using the Elif R6 mechanic. So if you have Bing Short, probably you can use Bing Short. Then Lu Shang here is a supporter role. So you can use like Meta Ira, you can use like Lu Shang, whichever you have, right? Meta Ira only need R0, D3. But if you have R4 and R6, then the RNG is a lot more lower. Okay, so now let's start the battle, and then you kind of want to pray you actually get the pop buff. So pop buff is the highest priority. Why? Because every time you get a buff, you get 1 stack. And you have 20 stack, you instantly clear all the growth and you get 1 extra turn. This extra turn is going to help you to do a lot of damage outside of like cut off a lot of the timer and save a lot of turn, because the turn here is based on the timer, is not based on how many turn your Esper take. So pop buff is the highest priority. Then the second priority I would say is rock. Why? Because after using 3 S3, then you do 1 damage that deals 1000% of your either attack or defense, and then able to crit. This is for your DPS output, the rock buff. Okay, after that you're gonna look at it. You want to actually pray you get a pop speed, because this combat here you want to keep outspeeding the timer, so X speed is actually matters a lot. So let me refresh here. Okay, then the third initial, I would say go for hip hop, because you're gonna take a lot of active turn, and then whenever you do damage during active turn, you're gonna do the, damage to the enemy by your speed. Alright, so this is the top 3 initial buff in my opinion. Then now you notice that now the mob didn't take the action because I've eaten plus 20 speed for me. And if you look at bottom here, this black timer here is how they count the current cycle. So if you manage to keep outspeeding the black timer here, then you can actually remain the same cycle for the next wave. So let's say I'm going to cast Chuyao, do some damage here, and take another turn. So every single turn my Esper is doing, it doesn't count as a current cycle. Okay, then like for example for this buff here, I would say go for the pop buff first, because pop buff is something you want to slowly build up until the boss wave, and then like this kind of rock smash is like instantly obtain the stats, so it's not that rush. So I'll go for like the pop buff to slowly build it up. Okay, then you can notice that now my current cycle is 2, and then my timer is slightly at the bottom now. So if I can just keep outspeeding the timer, I can actually delay the timer current cycle. Okay, let me do some damage here, and then you want Feng Shui to keep buffing your team to give you stack, because every time you get growth, you get more crit rate because of my choices, and then if you have 20 stack, you get extra turn. Then Lu Shang here, don't cast S3, just cast S1. Okay, do some damage here, Ethan cast S1, do some damage here, then do some damage here. Alright, then let's see. Okay, I get this damage, then we take this one. Okay, Feng Shui damage. Okay, now you can slowly notice that the timer is actually getting slower and slower because my team here is getting faster and faster because of Lu Shang. Alright, nice, this one. So this is your highest priority, because whenever you gain growth, you're gonna get a 1.5% speed boost permanently. So you kind of want to hope that you buff as fast as possible to get as many speed as possible. So Feng Shui buff up. You can see now the timer is almost at the half range. Okay, S1, do some damage. S1, we pick the enemy who have higher HP. Right, S1. Okay, left you, S1, S1. Okay, then for example, this one here, right, probably I want to go for extra speed as well, so to let it stack up faster, to let it overlap the 150%, or else you're gonna keep refresh and see what is the next buff. But since we have 3 pick here, I'm gonna get for extra speed. And then this one is increased attack, I'm gonna go for this. And then this one is increased crit rate, crit damage, then I'll go for crit damage, because Ethan helped me give me crit rate. Now you notice that just now the timer is around here. It's around here. Now it's at the bottom, which means I'm actually faster. And this run I actually got lucky, because now at round 5, these 5 as enemy I get is actually the good RNG one. If you get bad RNG one, you're probably gonna face like Ollie team, or probably Renzi team, which they are gonna be standoff or invincibility, so you're only able to prey on Chuyao's dispel, or else it's actually fucked up. Okay, or else you get other buff here. There's one buff I can't remember, it's from hip hop or rock. There's actually a dispel on it. Alright, so now just buff out the team. Just keep giving up buff for your team to stack up the speed. Right, S3, then get bonus turn from my Rezo 2. S1, do some damage. Pick the one who have higher HP. Okay, S1. Right, so for this part here, right, I'm going to pick Hip Hop Smash, because every after attacking during active turn, my speed will increase. So this one here, it will actually help you to actually outspeed the timer as well. Okay, S2, do some damage here. So now I'm at round 6 and my current cycle is 6. So we are in the same cycle currently. Now I'm at round 7. Let's say I'm not gonna for defense. Doesn't need a full HP as well. I can probably go for more faster speed, but there's a maximum cap of 150%, so probably I'm gonna refresh this. Okay, active turn do more damage, nice. Right. So now I'm at round 7, but my current cycle is still at 6 because I managed to outspeed this thing. Alright, buff up more to get more growth. Then S1. Then what is the RNG part? The RNG part is when you meet a new wave, So let's say my elite, for example, 19 stack of growth, right? So if I go to the new wave with the 20 stack, I actually instantly get a bonus turn when I go to the new wave. But now I already trigger it, so it's fine. Okay, more crit damage, nice. Okay, buff up my team. I need to keep outspeeding the timer. S1. S1. Restore HP, defense, crit rate. This is tough. Okay, I'll just go for defense then. Okay, S2. Now I'm at round 9, but current cycle is 7, which means I outspeeded the field already. Okay, then for this part here, I'll go for more active speed, which means when I get an active turn, no longer 25%, it's actually 50%. Then higher crit rate. Then when getting growth, AP push. Okay, S3. Do damage here. This is also a very lucky wave as well, because there's no like standoff or invincibility. S2, S3, more crit rate, okay, more damage then. AP push. Okay, my damage is starting to go up now. When S3 the thing casts, then okay, this is good. I'll pick above this one. S2. Okay, so now round 12, cycle 9. Okay, S3. S1. More attack. Okay, now the timer is only at halfway, which means my speed is now a lot more faster. S1. 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 More crit damage, more speed. Okay, I'm going for... Oh, wait. This one. This is very important. When gaining a buff, 20% chance to gain extra 1 stack, which makes your rotation a lot more faster as well. If you get that at early game, it's even better. Alright, then let me see. S1 here. Why I didn't cast S3? Because I'm saving it for round 15. I'll go for more attack. Then okay, this one is the dispel buff. So if you don't have a dispeller here, you can go for this one. When dealing the intermediate damage, you're gonna dispel 3 buff from the target. So if you face like team like Renzi or Ollie, you can go for this buff. Okay, this 20% attack when speed. Okay, then I'll go for this. Attack more, crit damage. Just get the dispel buff for fun. S2, now I have round 15, but I already cycle at 10, which means this round RNG, my speed is actually not fast enough to keep outspeeding the timer. And the other way to outspeed the timer is actually getting bonus turn at the start of the combat. Okay, tempo damage increase. S2. S1. S1 on this. Okay, let's say I buff up my team and then Ethan S1. Okay, I'll go for this. AP push. S2. S1. Oh, this is also very good. So if you can get this early, it's also good, because whenever you cast an you take an active turn, all your ally gain 10 speed, so you can also faster outspeed the timer as well. Okay, S3 do damage. Okay, S3 again. Okay, going for more damage. Okay, this is where the RNG and the lucky part comes in. So what happened is just now I killed the wave with function S3, and when function S3 it gives growth, and when I have 20 stack of growth I will instantly get 1 turn. And if you clear the wave, and so how do I say? When you clear the wave when casting function buff, for example, and then if they trigger the tempo at 20 stack, it will bring forward the bonus turn to the next wave. So you can see this turn here, actually the turn haven't started, but why my function get the turn is because he triggered the bonus turn. So the bonus turn bring forward to the next wave and trigger it there. So now I can do some bonus damage outside the timer even starting to move. Okay, so let's say I S2 here, now I do some damage, and now my Ethan here trigger the tempo, he get a bonus turn, so I'm technically doing damage outside of my own turn. Alright, so let's say I'm gonna... Should I cast S3 to make tempo for Chuyao? Okay, probably not. Just gonna S2. Oh, nice. Another S3. Then S1 here. Okay, now we go to the boss wave. My Chuyao should trigger a buff. Okay, defense, one enemy damage increase. Defense, active turn damage increase. Let's go for this. Alright. Cause previously my Ethan S3, right? It gives everyone immunity, so it trigger a buff. And then when we start a combat, we're gonna get buff as well. And then the buff will let Chuyao trigger the groove. So now my Chuyao is gonna get a turn outside of the timer even starting to count. Okay, so this is the RNG part, and what's make the pop buff actually so strong is because the extra turn can be bring forward to a new wave, and you start the extra turn without the turn actually starting. Alright, so now I S3, and then another RNG part is the defend, break, and sear, because the boss have ridiculously high resist, and the defend, break, and sear rarely land. Alright, so now I S1 here. Oh, now I managed to land sear, nice. Another S1. Okay, now the timer only start. Okay, so now I think the timer outspeed me, so I'm gonna get a 12 turn here. So if you're actually lucky enough, or your RNG trigger like the bonus turn when you bring to the boss wave, you can actually do it like what I tried before, how I trigger the 10 turn is actually I did it the current cycle when I start on the boss is 10, and I ended killing the boss at the same current cycle, which is still 10, because my team just keep getting bonus turn, keep outspeeding the timer, and I kill the boss when the timer even haven't taken one round. So the RNG part is at the growth, like how many growth stack you gain within the turn, and then did you trigger the growth set when you go to the next wave. So you might actually notice the leaderboard who have Meta Ira will have a higher RNG, because Meta Ira will help them assist more and then help them gain growth outside of their turn. Alright, S1, then S1, just spam S1, we can kill the boss. Alright, so for this showcase I managed to do a 12 turn, but basically all the concept I already covered within the whole buff selection and then like the RNG part, because it's still very RNG heavy. You're gonna need a lot of luck how the growth trigger, how early you get the buffs, and then all the interaction, and then what kind of mob you face in the 5th wave, 10th wave, and 15th wave. Okay, so probably you can go check out the leaderboard as well to see which team suits you, but you always notice that everyone is gonna have a pop buff in their selection. Pop buff, pop buff, pop buff, pop, 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 pop. Right, there's a lot of pop buff because basically everyone is using the pop buff to keep getting the bonus turn outside of the timer turn. Alright, I hope this video actually helped you guys out to try to get the low turn for your own division ranking. You're probably not gonna get like 8 turn to 10 turn like mine, but you can try your best. Maybe you can get like 11 or 12 or 13, then maybe it can help you break your own record in your own division. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Special thanks for the direct support on the YouTube membership. So for the benefactor of Artiar, which is JenMP, SPVCEJVMQ, TrendCan, thank you so much for your support. And also special thanks for the supporter or patron of Artiar, which is Louis Schneider, Agni, Wang Tamer, Ziggy, Kamaruki, Sunwaltz, Rimu, Choni, Antonio Winterspoon, Cragran, Calamity, Rocco Standions, Jordan Alons. Special thanks for your support. And also special thanks for the Super Thanks MVP, HMZ, RY, and X, Reeds. Thank you so much for your support. Special thanks for the direct support on the live stream super chat for the latest 10. Thank you so much for Code Wardeners, Calamity, Agni, Love Fatima, Fatima Little Underwear, Bloods, Riku Fred, Choni. Thank you so much for your support.